There are some things in the military that they allow deaf people to do, but not really as soldiers, as outside employees.
I have always had a heart for deaf youth. The deaf kids that I worked with at St. Paul in 1973 to 75, I'm still in touch with an awful lot of them. They're all in their 60s now. Some of them are grandparents, but they were my first kids.
We are at the Deaf Church in Austin, where every Tuesday and Wednesday night we have deaf youth ministry. On Tuesdays we have college-age deaf youth, and then on Wednesdays we have elementary classes, then middle school classes, then high school classes. These students have all graduated from high school already. They're in a program called Access. They can stay in it until they're 22, and it's at Texas School for the Deaf. They're learning life skills and job applicating and all kinds of things like that. Our life on earth is protected by the men and women in the military, by police, and by firefighters, firemen. But there is more than just life on earth. There's also eternal life. The church is right across the street from Texas School for the Deaf. Right across the street from the church is the main pedestrian gate on campus. And so that's where the students come when they come over here. Sometimes I go over there and sit on that low wall and meet them as they're arriving there. Right behind that gate is the high school girls' dorm. The high school boys' dorm is just a little further down, but we are in an excellent location to serve deaf youth. I'm not sure right now because of COVID, but there's normally about 550 students on campus. The primary purpose for all of our classes is teaching. We do every time have a lesson about salvation or the Christian life. Because Jesus rose again from the dead, we know we can rise again to eternal life in heaven. There was one boy, he started coming when he was a senior in high school, and after 2-3 months he said, "Pastor, I believe in Jesus, but I don't know if I believe in God." Well, you know, Lutheran kids know that from the time they're little about the Trinity. They know Jesus is God, things like that. And I thought, wow. So a lot of these kids, if they don't come to our youth ministry, they don't hear the gospel. Denise Pulfer, who is a DCE, she graduated from Christ College in Irvine. She grew up hearing, became deaf when she was 30. Her husband, Ted, is deaf also, and he teaches sometimes. He was a deacon for the deaf in Wisconsin before they moved here, and sometimes I teach. We take turns doing it. It is growing slowly. It's not as big as it was pre-COVID, when we would have easily 100 or more students by this time of year. Right now we have had this school year 96, which is much better than all of last year with COVID when we only had 72. But our normal years would be between 150 to 300. So really I can't complain. Where one or two are together, there he is in the midst of us. I want people to know that deaf people need the gospel as much as anyone else, and that we need to keep this ministry going forever.